We have 5 more days to use Fable 5 on our subscription plans. It was supposed to be dead today, but guess what? It's not. Anthropic decided to extend it 5 more days, probably due to negative community feedback. But this is great because now we have access to the smartest AI on the planet for an extra 5 more days on our plan, meaning we don't have to pay extra to use it. But come July 12th, it's gone again. So take it from me, for somebody that has actually learned the hard way when it comes to Fable 5 and what you should actually do moving forward. So let's get into it. So the first deal is that, so nobody is confused, you have access to Fable 5 until July 12th on the Pro, Max, and Team plans. You have access right now. And trust me, Fable can eat up half of your weekly usage like that. And we can only use it for 50% of our usage. That's it. And just a heads up, the meter counts for like everything. So if you're using Opus, you're using Haiku, or you're using Sonnet, whatever you're using, all of that stuff takes into account. Past that window, it's automatically charging your credit usage. And trust me, you don't want it to get to that point, and unless you actually know the things that I'm about to tell you. And this model is double of what Opus is. It's insane. $10 per input token, $50 per output token, per million output tokens. I mean, it's so costly. And one more thing to take into consideration, Anthropic does say Fable 5 is going to eventually come back onto subscription when there's availability, but we have no idea when that's going to be. And by availability, I mean capacity. They simply do not have the capacity to run this model on all of these subscriptions. That is the single biggest thing that is holding them back from releasing it to everybody that has subscriptions right now. And that means we need more data centers. Just kidding. It's bad for the environment. But just like when Opus was released, everybody was making the same exact shift. Really, nothing is different here. But believe me, you're going to want to know this shit before you get that credit usage. Trust me, you could get hundreds of dollars just sent to credit usage without you knowing. It's happened to me. So one, we need to take into consideration the model is completely temporary. So if you're one of those people that's just chatting with it in a normal chat bot, you're paying $200, which would blow my mind if that's what you were doing. But hey, to each their own, you spend your money where you want to. God, I hope there's nobody using Fable 5 just to chat with. But regardless, the people that are building with it are going to be ahead, no matter what. Because instead of having backed up chat logs with Fable 5, you are going to actually have actual builds living on your computer with Fable 5. But real quick, my name is Colton. I build AI systems for real businesses. I have created my own startup this year and already scaled it to closing in on 6 figures. And so if there's anybody that knows a lot about this stuff, it's me. And the whole point of this channel is to help people like you. So do me a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe button. And now on to the next part. So the first thing I want to go over, like I said before, I've already had my AI scrape through several transcripts of many different videos and all talking about this and how they are conserving different ones. So you don't need to go all out and looking for other YouTube videos. Trust me, I got all you need right here. And I've also tested the claims with my own usage. So you're good. And rule number 1 is going to be simple, but I promise you, you do not need it more than this. And trust me, even on low, this shit is going to work for you. And it's just set Fable 5 to low usage or low effort. The benchmarks that I've seen of Fable 5 running on low competes with Opus. Like, that is amazing while still having its knowledge capabilities and its thinking, its agentic coding skills. So, I mean, really, you could run Fable 5 on low and still get better output than you would with Opus 4.8 on Ultra Code. So really keep your default low, and then if you need to bump it up to medium for a little bit more heavier work, then do it. But for me personally, I've been sticking with low and medium and getting fantastic results still. So this is the single biggest lever that you have, is keeping the default for Fable 5 on low. So you just do /effort and then low. Make sure it's on low or medium. Medium, honestly, as high as I would go, because, I mean, you start getting into that usage, it's going to be insane. It's going to cost you a lot of money. Second thing you're going to want to do is delegate tasks to cheaper models. Sonnet 5 just came out and is absolutely incredible. I've been messing with it. But also what I've been doing personally is just delegating work to GLM 5.2. And I'm going to be making another video on how you can connect GLM 5.2 to the Claude Code harness. and it will have every single skill that you've already given to your Claude code. So it's just using a different model. Maybe just a smaller context window, but I've had great results with it personally. Also, I'm pretty sure they're running a discount code right now where you can get an additional 10% off your first month's payment. I'll leave the link in the description below so you can get that code. But regardless, you are going to want to delegate your work when Fable 5 gets off of the subscriptions. I promise you, you're going to want to do that. One creator actually delegated his work with Fable 5 and created an app in about 3 hours, only using 15% of his weekly usage, which is absolutely insane. So if you do this properly, I promise you, you can get a shit ton of work done, and it's incredible. Then the third thing is, I see so many people making agentic loops. You do not want to make agentic loops with Fable, only using Fable as the only model. Because I have ran agentic loops with Opus 4.8 and I've accidentally spawned hundreds of agents and I didn't even mean to, and then my weekly usage was completely gone. And that was my mistake. That happened like a month and a half ago, and I was like, what the hell happened? This will also happen if you're doing multi-agent research. Trust me, it's bad. Just don't do it. If you're going to do it, make it clear in your prompt when you're writing the loop that you do not want Fable 5 to be the default model. Make sure that Fable 5 knows that you are delegating this work to cheaper models, GLM 5.2 or Sonnet 5. Those models are great. I guess the only time where I would say that this is okay is if you're on the morning of July 12th and you haven't had all your usage yet. Go ahead and just blow it all with Fable 5. Also, the fourth thing that I learned, especially in regards to Fable 5, is keep your context clean. Everything sitting in your context gets carried over with every message with Fable 5. And it just rereads it. Just think about this. 4.8, much cheaper. It could read the context a lot cheaper. Fable 5, it doesn't matter. If you got a shitload in your context, trust me, you're going to want to take that stuff out. All you do is just do /context and you can see everything that's actually taking up a lot of your usage. And you can just simply tell your Claude to stop using that as much as it is. I have been clearing and compacting often. I would say every 3 to 4 messages, I am either compacting or I am completely clearing the session and starting a new one. And I know this is all over YouTube of people telling you just clear, compact, just do it. Trust me, it works. I don't realize I'm not doing it, and I don't realize it's a habit until it actually is. So you make a point to do that. Somehow remind yourself. Do not just get into something where you're just continuously typing to it. It's not worth it. Oh, and also, do not make Fable 5 read huge, long things. Trust me, it's pointless. Just have Opus 4.8 do it. Trust me, it does it flawlessly. There's no reason to have Fable doing this. Now, personally, what is my plan moving forward for these next 5 days? Well, I'm going to tell you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out the bullshit. Call it kill the graveyard. We're going to kill, but the graveyard is also including any sort of bugs. And Fable 5 is incredible at, scoping out the bugs, delegating those tasks and fixing them, having Opus, directing Opus at it, and actually delegating and fixing those bugs. So also fixing the bugs inside of my entire system is very, very important for me personally. And it should be important for you because we have access to this model until the 12th. So you should be using it to find any sort of bugs in your system. And personally, it's my outbound sales system. I've already found several bugs within it. It makes it way more in tune and accurate. I've already been using it today, and it's been flawless. I've also had some reply alerts that haven't been working properly, and Fable 5 was able to get those out and just make my systems more efficient just in that. And now I'm getting notified more of the actual issues, and I'm getting notified more of, potential inbound clients. And also the machine that literally helps me call the proper leads every single day, it's refining that for me as well. It's already found several bugs that put the perfect leads right in front of my face. And so, God, it's already been fantastic. But for the skills, you're actually going to want to do this. This is very, very important. This is where most people are going to waste a window and they don't understand how important this is. You need to be asking Fable 5 to refine your already skills that you have created for it, but you also need to ask it, what skills do I need right now that is going to help me be more efficient? Have Fable 5 interrogate you on literally the skills that you absolutely need and if you actually need them. This helped me out tremendously with my content system. how my videos get edited, how my thumbnails get created, literally how my motion graphics get created, just everything. Also, how my scripts get checked. And this is the reason why it's important right now, because when these playbooks and these skills get written, they are Fable 5 level. And when a cheat model runs these skills next week, trust me, it's way above its weight class. And that's just because the hard thinking already happened. And that's kind of the reason why I'm not really scared, because everything that I do after this just inherits Fable 5's work. So the other thing is the audit. Fable 5 will be auditing absolutely everything that I have, all of my systems, everything, and it's going to tell me how I can use it even more efficiently. It's going to tell me where an attacker can get in, which of my recurring costs produces me nothing, and where does my code base fight itself. And I'm also going to make it prove every single finding. And Fable is good enough where if you demand receipts, it's going to give it to you. And that's the difference between an audit and a vibe. You need to know your shit. You need to not off of this. You need to make sure that your agents are auditing your system properly. So I'm running 3 audits this week or the next 5 days. And I'm running security heavily because Fable 5, the number one thing that it's known for is cybersecurity. My last security pass that I actually did with this actually found a hole in one of my API keys. And believe it or not, it was an API key that I had already been very, very confident that it was locked down, but it wasn't. So I had to change that one out. So on the 4th day, I'm actually going to have Fable 5 just completely plan out my next 3 months of what I'm going to be doing. And hopefully in those next 3 months, the subscription, it's going to come back onto subscription. So it's going to have 3 months of specs already planned out for me by the time I lose it, so I don't have to spend usage. And when I'm getting close to that usage limit, I'm going to make sure that I use that last bit of usage for the plans, because I intend on doing the audits, the security passes, and everything for actually using code with it. But I can have it draft up 5 different PDFs for specific things like redesigning my email system, redesigning my dashboards, redesigning my actual call analyzer system, like everything that I have in my business. And because it takes so much less usage to create a PDF document or a text file than it does to, draft up and have it do the code itself. And to be honest, it's never actually the code that takes a lot of usage. It's the 40 other decisions hiding inside of the code that makes it take so much usage. So regardless, the ceiling just moved 5 extra days. I just went over absolutely everything I'm going to be doing personally, and I hope that this helped you. So remember, graveyard, cut the bullshit, skills, audits, and plans. So tell me in the comments what move you're actually going to be starting with, what do you think is going to help you the most, and what you're going to be using the rest of your usage for, because I'm genuinely curious. But remember, hit the like and subscribe button and flip that notification bell on. It really does help me out. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.